Hello everyone and welcome to this initial class. How are you all? I hope everybody are doing well. Thank you everyone for your cooperations and keep learning. So today we are going to discuss about federalism, and in that just we are going to discuss about what makes India a federal country. What makes India a federal nation? Already we have earlier seen how small countries like Belgium and Sri Lanka face so many problems of managing diversity. जब बेल्जियम और श्रीलंका इतने छोटे कंट्रीज हैं और बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स और जो डाइवर्सिटी को मैनेजिंग करना पड़ा था उनको, सो व्हाट अबाउट ए वास्ट कंट्री लाइक इंडिया? इंडिया इतनी बड़ी देश है, इसमें तो बहुत सारे लैंग्वेजेस हैं, बहुत सारे रिलीजियंस हैं एंड बहुत सारे रीजियंस भी हैं, एंड यहाँ पे जो पावर शेयरिंग अरेंजमेंट किस तरह से किया जाए, ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. चलो एक एक करके पढ़ते हैं. इंडिया had emerged as an independent nation after a painful and bloody partition. Soon after independence, several princely states became a part of the country. The constitution declared India as a union states. Although did not use the word federation, the Indian Union is based on the principles of federalism. Let's go back to the 7 features of federalism mentioned yesterday by me, and we can see that all these features apply to the provisions of the Indian Constitution. The Constitution originally provided for a 2-tier system of government, but later on it became 3. And for this 2-tier system of government was there before. The union government, or what we call central government, representing the Union of India, and the state government which represents state government. Later, a 3rd tier of federalism was added in the form of panchayats and municipalities. The Constitution already provided a 3-fold distribution of legislative powers between the union government and the state government. Thus, it contains 3 lists. First one is union list, second one the state list, and the third one is the concurrent list. Union list includes subjects of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affairs, banking, communication and currency. They are included in this list because we need a uniform policy on these matters throughout the country. State list contains subjects of state and local importance such as police, trade, commerce, agriculture and irrigation. The state governments alone can make laws relating to the subjects mentioned in the state list. And next comes concurrent list. The concurrent list included the subject related to the common interest, right? And to both the union government as well as the state government, such as education, forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption and succession. Both the union as well as the state government can make laws on the subject mentioned in this list. If their laws conflict with each other, the law made by the union government will be approved. By the distribution of powers by different levels like union list, state list and concurrent list, this makes India as a federal nation. Already you might understood it. And now we are going to discuss about union territories, right? Union which enjoy very little power. These are the areas which are not too small to become an independent state, but which could not be merged with any of the existing states. ये इतनी यूनिट्स इतने छोटे भी नहीं, इतने बड़े भी नहीं थे कि इसको स्टेट बनाया जाए, और इतने छोटे भी नहीं थे कि किसी स्टेट के साथ इनको मर्ज किया जाए. And these are like Chandigarh and Lakshadweep, or the capital city of India. And these are called union territories. These territories do not have the power of a state. The central government has special powers in the running this area. Central government इसको करते हैं. तो अब हमने अभी तक जो टॉपिक्स कवर्ड किए वो व्हाट इज फेडरलिज्म, की फीचर्स, and what makes India a federal country. Thank you so much for next video. Till then, be at home and be safe. Thank you. Hi everyone, how all are you? Welcome to the Sudhi Sir class. And I request everybody to suggest me and comment about the videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for everything.